That same annoying advertisement on his screen had been haunting him for weeks now. Some gaming streamer and his loud sidekick bragging about a new phone. They keep bragging about how easily old devices get recycled on some app called Spinner. For 4,000 credits offering instant pickup, he cannot escape it. No matter what he browses, food or science, it always forces itself onto his screen like an annoying ghost he cannot shake. Muttering a curse under his breath, he gets up to grab a cold soda from the fridge. His stomach is empty and dinner is late, so a drink might help. But the very second he pops the tab, his entire world suddenly begins to spin. Actual physical vertigo hits him hard, like being tossed into a dryer. Everything stretches and warps, and the cold soda flies out of his hand. An unstoppable force yanks him downward, making him scream out a half-formed curse in terror. With a heavy crash, he slams face-first onto a freezing, solid rock floor. The brutal impact nearly shatters his entire lower spine, making him hiss in absolute agony. He props himself up, but his hands do not touch his familiar bedroom tiles. Instead, the rough and damp ground beneath his fingers smells strongly of fresh, wet soil. Looking up into pitch-black darkness, he spots a crystal. It emits a dim light that barely reveals his immediate surroundings. He is stuck inside a 7-meter-wide cave with about 50 square meters of cold space. The heavy air smells of mildew. Did someone kidnap him, or is he dead? Talk about a terrifying wake-up call. His phone, wallet, and keys are all completely gone. Suddenly, a cold and robotic voice echoes inside his head. The mechanical voice welcomes him to the terrifying trials of the mind tunnel survival game. Everyone on Earth between 16 and 60 has been teleported here, it explains. All of their physical illnesses and abnormalities have been instantly healed. Time on their home planet has frozen, meaning his loved ones are perfectly safe for now. His only objective here is to survive and find a way back home. The voice explains that every single survivor starts with a 50-square-meter cave and an ordinary pickaxe. That glowing crystal overhead provides fresh oxygen while they get a single tool. A new tool refreshes each morning at 8 a.m., but it can break during digging. If the pickaxe breaks, he is completely locked out of excavating for the entire day. Mining the rock walls yields valuable supplies, hidden treasures, or deadly monsters. There is absolutely no exit option, and with that, the voice vanishes. He stands completely stunned in the dark for 10 seconds as the reality sinks in. A hard pinch to his thigh delivers a sharp pain, proving this is real. Taking a slow, deep breath, he remembers his years of experience reading online web novels. Panic will not help him survive. He focuses on his status interface. Instantly, a glowing blue status panel floats right in front of his face. It displays basic tabs like inventory, crafting, trade, and global chat. The chat icon has a flashing red notification dot, and he simply cannot resist clicking. Inside, 2 channels appear, world and regional, for him to browse. The world channel is a massive avalanche of messages moving too fast to read. Some believe this is a massive virtual reality game, while others are screaming in panic. A few are actually thrilled about escaping their boring daily lives. Billions of people are currently venting their sheer terror and wild excitement. And despair into one endless feed, he exits and clicks regional instead, slower. But still chaotic, people are asking if anyone from Area B2 is around. Complaining about hunger, warning about falling rocks, or someone offering protection in exchange for pretty girls. His own ID sits there on the panel. Player Jinmo, serial number B29527, a number that sounds far too familiar. His lip twitches, better to figure out what he is actually capable of. He opens. Attributes: health is 160 out of 160, 0 meaning death. Sanity is 100. Out of 100 with hallucinations and dropping stats as it decreases. Strength 8, agility 9, constitution 8, spirit 9, attack 8 plus 3. From the pickaxe, defense 0, luck a question mark. The footnote informs him Normal healthy adult blue star male sits at 10 across the board. Constitution and strength are both 8. He cannot even reach average. His life as a sub-healthy shut-in has been digitized, and he figures the only reason agility and spirit. Nudged higher was years of surfing the web and dodging his landlord, a hell mode. Starting point, he thinks, trying to find humor in the misery, then the mechanical voice returns announcing that deployment is complete and the talent system is now open. The talents are miracles and variables, and his only reliance is ranked S through F. He is to open the talent treasure chest before him. To awaken his destiny, a palm-sized chest materializes in front of him. Talent. This is the key, the capital every web novel protagonist uses to turn the tables, and honestly, we all know a broken talent changes the entire game. Even a handcart can. Drive on the highway, he opens the chest immediately, and a rotating spinner appears as the system announces the extraction is underway. While it spins, he watches the chat channels melt down. Faster reactors than him are crowing and sobbing in tandem. D-rank night vision, C-rank plan affinity with a joke about befriending moss, F-rank hair volume doubling on someone already going bald. D-rank precise throwing from someone without so much as a rock to throw. Most pulls are D and F-rank. C-rank draws envy. The F-ranks are bizarre participation. Prizes like ventriloquism mastery, cold resistance plus 5%, soul hardening. Then 3 dazzling golden banners occupy every chat interface. A global announcement congratulates player A104556 for awakening the S-rank talent. Elemental control, midwinter player S580002 for sword heart clarity, and player M31415 for genetic berserk. Each is rewarded a special structure treasure chest which declares the top 3 S-rank slots filled. The chat erupts. A royal flush at the start, and archmage-level envy is leaking. Sideways, the gap between people is suddenly wider than the gap between people and dogs. Jinmo curses at his still-rotating spinner internally, asking why. It is so slow. The wheel finally comes to rest on the sea region. A plain white beam of light zips into his forehead, and the system congratulates him on awakening the C-rank talent recycle, able to recycle tools, structures, equipment, and other items with a chance to return basic raw materials. The original item is lost if recycle fails. His heart sinks. C-rank junk collecting, dismantling a worn pickaxe for a piece of scrap iron and a stick of wood, and it might not even succeed. Like scratching a lottery ticket and reading a message saying thank you for playing. Heaven wants him dead, he thinks. He resigns himself to checking the talent page just to see. The entry looks incredibly pathetic. The moment he opens it, the text displaying recycle distorts into meaningless garbled code, making him wonder if the system is glitching. A second later, a logo he knows anywhere pops up, a red recycling symbol made of 2 arrows, accompanied by a cheerful ding and an electronic synthesized voice, nothing like the usual cold mechanical tone. It overflows with salesman enthusiasm, announcing a suitable host has been detected. It announces the spinner recycle system is binding to him, granting the unique talent spinner recycle. Before he can even react, a palm-sized fiery red cartoon phone projection zips out of his panel and floats in front of him, sporting a cheeky grin on its screen. It greets him as its dear host, introducing itself as his exclusive system spirit, Spinner, promising to help him turn trash into treasure and reach the pinnacle of life. Honestly, you have to laugh. He stares at the phone and asks flatly if he was just bound by a living pop-up advertisement, and Spinner happily tells him he can think of it that way. The ordinary recycle talent is just inefficient junk collecting, it explains, but Spinner recycle is completely different. It focuses on high-value tech, luxury goods, precious metals, and works of art, anything it deems valuable. What he gets back is not fragmented materials, but usable finished supplies, and sometimes even treasure chests. It is a mythical talent Surpassing S rank, the only bug in this cold world, his VIP express lane to the pinnacle of life, he raises a hand to stop the sales pitch, temples throbbing, and asks where exactly in this damned rock cave he is supposed to find luxury. Goods or technology, is he supposed to dig some designer bag out of the wall he owns? Nothing but torn pajamas and a broken pickaxe, no matter how grand the future. It paints he needs ingredients first. Spinner calls it an excellent question, and shifts into professional support mode to explain the two sources. First is excavation. This world is littered with relics and treasures from the old era buried deep in the earth, and diligent digging may unearth technological products, ancient artworks, and even relics of alien civilizations. Second is treasure chests, alongside food, water, and materials. Chests occasionally yield miraculous items, like an old but functional smart watch or a rare record from another world, perfect high-quality sources for recycling. It also informs him that the system currently allows 10 recycles per day, then it spins once, telling him not to hesitate, that his first pot of gold waits in the rock wall ahead, and zips back into his talent panel, leaving behind a lingering slogan: spin or recycle, making every discovery worthwhile. He feels like his brain has been formatted by marketing. Another global announcement shakes him out of the daze, noting all human talents are now active, urging players to strive for survival, and as a balancing measure, granting D rank and F rank players boosted mining yield today and halved pickaxe breakage. It also reminds them about the mine tunnel survival basic manual in their backpacks. The world channel erupts. The three top gods already took off. Ordinary players are doomed. Well, at least the yield is higher. Wait, a manual. He catches that last line too and opens his backpack. 50 slots, mostly empty, and he notices a small craft paper booklet among the items and skims through it. The mine tunnel starts at 50 square meters and can be expanded using special items. All excavated walls reset at 8 a.m. daily, though any place structures will persist. Players receive just one common quality pickaxe per day to get their work done. It has a 5% break chance per dig, but can be upgraded. Upgrades require scrolls or books. Chest tiers start with a basic white, then green, blue, purple, orange, red, gold, and finally rainbow, with specials mixed in. Drop quality scales with chest rarity. Monsters can also drop materials or treasure. Not every monster drops loot, though. Essential crafting blueprints come from chests or events. Special events yield them too. The official platform is recommended for trading. Caution is advised on private deals. He memorizes every rule, especially the daily reset. That reset means fresh opportunities each morning without worrying about a cave-in. Still, that 5% break chance hangs over every single player like a shadow. If his pickaxe breaks before he finds food, he will starve. He closes the manual. Other players' S-tier talents do not matter to him at all. His only lifelines are this strange ad system and the cold tool in his hands. Walking over to the rock wall, he grips the rough wooden handle with both hands. The solid weight of the tool brings a welcome wave of calm to his mind. No more overthinking. It is time to start digging. He takes a steadying breath. Aiming at a loose section of the rock face, he swings with all his might. He braces himself, expecting the harsh recoil to numb his hands. But the painful recoil never comes, only a soft, clean crunch. The pickaxe glides into the solid stone like it is cutting through soft tofu. There is no resistance, just a strange energy dissolving the hard stone structure. A chunk of rock the size of a human head drops to the ground. A system notification pops up. He has successfully acquired 1 unit of stone. He stares at his thin arms and then at the average-looking pickaxe. Clearly, the tools in this world defy all normal laws of physics. This is excellent news. He swings again and again, striking the wall rhythmically. He gets stone, then copper ore. The notifications keep rolling in. Soon, a small pile of dusty rocks and metallic ore accumulates on the floor. The work is boring, but each success feels like a shot of adrenaline. As he digs, he keeps watch on the regional chat channel. Player B2788 screams that he just dug up a wild dog. Another player asks if he is alive, while a third reports a giant beetle. The bug luckily lost interest, then player B2788 returns. He killed the beast with his pickaxe, but it dissolved into light. It's only left behind a ruined dog hide with no meat at all. Meanwhile, another lucky survivor gloats about finding a rare green chest. He scored a high-quality axe and some roast meat, making everyone jealous. The chat explodes with pure envy. Honestly, who can blame them? A green chest is a massive upgrade. He looks down at his basic rocks. Gritting his teeth, he swings even faster. Then, the feeling of the impact changes. The tool does not hit hard stone. It hits something soft and wrong. He leaps back, his eyes locked onto the exact spot he just struck. Soil crumbles under pressure, cracks suddenly spreading like a spiderweb. A sharp, ear-piercing screech erupts from the fissures. The wall explodes and a yellowish-brown shape shoots at Jinmo's face like a cannonball. His 9 points of agility carry him through an incredibly clumsy roll that barely gets him out of the way, and the shadow slams into the spot he just vacated, kicking up dust. Only then does he see it clearly, a monster over half a meter long, shaped like a groundhog but packed with bulging muscle. Fangs and claws gleam with cold metallic. Light blood-red eyes full of violence. Information floats into view. Digging. Rat weakened version. White common grade. Beast species. Health 60. Attack 8. Defense 5. A common mine tunnel creature that attacks any trespasser. White common is the lowest tier, which calms him slightly, but 8 attack. Power will still gut a chunk of his health. No pressure, right? The rat squeaks and charges again, 4 limbs clawing the ground at astonishing speed, and in this cramped space there's nowhere real to dodge. He grits his teeth and hardens his resolve. Running is impossible, he has to fight. He grips the pickaxe with both hands and holds it across his chest, and just as the rat leaps at him, he twists sharply and swings the pickaxe at its head with everything he has. No technique, pure instinct. Clang, a dull thud like hitting an iron pot, and a red -15 pops over the rat's head. Effective, but before he can celebrate, the recoil numbs his arms and sends him stumbling backward, while the rat merely shakes its head, apparently unharmed, and snarls again. Its defense is only 5, but his moderate attack power won't kill it cleanly. It lunges at his throat, and he dives under, giving up on meeting it head-on, relying instead on his higher agility to circle around obstacles, which in this case means Jinmo circling a pile of ore, keeping the dug stone between them. The rat is fast, but its brain doesn't seem to work, charging straight every time, and he uses the terrain to dodge again and again. Then, when it overshoots and briefly stiffens, he darts in and stabs downward with the pickaxe tip at the back of its neck. Weakness damage -25. The tip cuts far deeper than the blunt swing did. The rat shrieks horribly, blood spurting, twisting wildly to throw him off, claws flailing. He refuses to let go even as the force pulls him off balance, his health dripping down with every flail. -3, -4, -3, falling to 145 in a few seconds. He roars at it to die and puts his full weight on the pickaxe, twisting it downward. A crisp crack of bone, weakness attack -22. And the rat stiffens, the light leaving its eyes, its body going limp. Notification confirms he killed one digging rat, and the corpse dissolves into motes of white light. He plops onto the ground, gasping, his heart pounding. The first fight was far more perilous than he'd imagined. Without that extra point of agility, he'd have died on the spot. Nothing seems to have dropped from the corpse. His luck holds steady, but as he starts to stand, his eye catches something. In the crater the rat burst out of, a palm-sized rectangular object within ancient design, black plastic casing reflecting a faint glimmer. Was that a PHS phone? To anyone else it's worthless electronic junk. To him it's brighter Then gold, the cheerful voice rings in his mind, announcing detection of a high-value item eligible for recycle. Old PHS phone, no power. He commands the system to recycle, waiting anxiously as the evaluation runs. The value is low and the tech is basic, but the recycle succeeds. Spinner's phantom materializes from the panel, holding a virtual tray. It congratulates him on the rewards. First up, 1 loaf of rye bread. Next is a 500 milliliter bottle of water and a piece of bread. Wrapped in wheat-scented oil paper, a small white chest sits nearby. They all appear on the ground before him: water, food, and a chest. He hasn't eaten all day, and after that brutal rat fight, he's starving. So he snatches the rye bread without caring if it's dirty, taking a huge bite. The coarse, slightly sour texture would normally be very hard to swallow. But right now it tastes like absolute heaven. Next, he unscrews the water. Gulping down several massive mouthfuls, the cool liquid slides down his dry throat. The refreshing drink makes him feel like he's returning from the dead. With half the bread gone, his stomach finally settles. His eyes find the chest. It is the lowest tier, but any survival chest is a major win right now. Silently praying it is not just an empty joke, he taps open. A soft creak sounds, a brief white light flashes, and items settle inside. He leans in closer to inspect his haul: more water and 2 compressed biscuits. There is also a single flint, a worn t-shirt, and a rusted dagger. These are meager spoils, but a white chest is still a chest. No blueprints. No blueprint, no rare items, not even a single piece of dried meat. But he quickly tells himself that even the smallest scrap is crucial now. He adapts his mindset fast. In a brutal setup like this, every resource counts. Gathering the water and biscuits first, he knows food is the ultimate currency. With these added to his current stock, he has bought himself some time. He won't starve for at least 2 days, putting him ahead of the crowd. The rough flint in his hand means warmth, light, and a sense of security. Then he picks up the worn t-shirt, low quality with 0 special effects. The description says it was salvaged from trash, but it beats his ruined pajamas. Since his pajamas tore during the fight, he pulls the shirt on immediately. Finally, the rusted dagger. Its attack power is only 1 to 3. The system says it is duller than a butter knife, but it beats fists. He swings it twice. It is light and weak, but if another beast attacks, he can defend himself without risking his pickaxe in a frantic fight. His nerves calm down. Nothing here is overpowered, but his odds are improving. He opens up the regional chat again, and the mood is getting worse. People are begging for a single sip of water, offering 20 stones. Someone else is sobbing over a cave spider bite on their swollen leg. Many are slowly going mad from isolation in their dark, silent caves. Reading through their misery, he starts to realize how incredibly lucky he is. He has food, water, basic gear, a weapon, and an intact pickaxe. Instead of mining right away, he opens up the crude trading interface. Listings are rare and prices are crazy, like 10 stones for some water. A high durability axe at 95% is listed for a rare scroll. Another is demanding a shoe in exchange for slime mucus. He clicks his tongue. He scrolls. Food and water are absurdly inflated. 10 stones takes dozens of grueling swings. Assuming nothing else drops, still, desperate people are trading all that grueling labor for just a single sip. The lucky player with the green chest holds his axe out for strategic trades. To the guy selling slime mucus for a shoe, he can only wish him good luck. Most listings trade materials for food. No electronic products show up yet. Then one entry catches his eye: a wooden shield blueprint fragment, 1 of 3, asking 2 bottles of purified water, so blueprints can come in pieces. It is another bottomless pit with no telling when a full set completes, but that itself proves how precious blueprints are. Time passes and sweat beads on his forehead. His arms feel detached, though the world rules make digging less strenuous. The repetition still demands real force. Another small pile of Stone material with 2 pitiful copper ores is all he has to show for it. This efficiency is too low, he mutters, leaning against the wall to rest. He habitually opens the regional channel, his only entertainment during breaks, and honestly, listening to other people's disasters actually improves his mood. Sure enough, the channel is still lamenting. Someone claims they could eat a cow and will trade all their ores for food. Someone thinks he has a fever from the wet cold. Someone else nearly buried himself and now has trauma just looking at walls. His heart remains unmoved. This is the true portrayal of ordinary people in this survival game. Then B-23-838 snags his attention. Complaining he dug all morning and only got a broken Canon camera with no power, asking if it can be eaten. The replies roll in about post-apocalyptic selfies for the obituary or to post it online if they can ever find power. Even a rock makes a better weapon. B-23-838 curses them all. Camera like that is easily worth more than a PHS, he clicks. The player list finds B-23-838 and messages him about trading. To trade, after half a minute he replies cautiously, trading is fine but he needs food. Why would anyone want this camera since it cannot be eaten or drunk? Does it have another use? His mind races, and he replies that his talent can repair some electronics, but he has not had a suitable item to test yet. If he finds more in the future, they can trade again. The guy asks for food, so he offers half a compressed biscuit, high calories but not much else to give. Compressed biscuits are nothing to him as long as he has electronics to recycle, but for other survivors, right now they are pure gold. The player agrees instantly. Of course, half is enough. A prompt comes up. Player B-23-838 initiating trade. Item: Canon camera with no power. Requested item: half a compressed biscuit. Does he agree? He agrees. Half a biscuit vanishes, and a black camera that looks nearly new appears in the slot. The player then sends a friend request, and he clicks agree casually. He replies gushing that he is his lifesaver, and any useless electronic junk he digs up from now on will go to him, begging for just a bite to eat. He replies with 2 words, no problem. Talk about a major win. Stable junk supplier, just like that. He closes the chat and calls Spinner to work. The cheeky red phantom chirps she is coming as he points at the camera and commands her to recycle. Spinner detects a high-value item. The Canon runs the assessment: value medium, tech content general, collection value general. Declaring the recycling process a massive success, the helper somersaults in the air. A massive virtual tray appears as Spinner announces the rewards: 1 cheeseburger, 2 500-milliliter iced colas, and 1 green treasure chest. A warm burger sits in a paper box, the rich aroma of meat and cheese still rising from it. 2 bottles of cola with cold condensation beating on the glass beside a glowing green chest. Tears of joy actually slip from the corners of his mouth. The half loaf of bread is long gone. A hot burger and ice-cold cola. What kind of heavenly life is this? He rips the wrapper open and takes a massive bite. Soft bread, juicy beef patty, melted cheese, and crispy lettuce explode on his taste buds. Never in his life has he tasted anything this good. He downs half a bottle of cola in one single pull, the icy bubbles washing down his throat, refreshing him completely, making him nearly groan with pure pleasure. Every cell in his body cheers. He lets out satisfied burp, and his eyes finally settle on the glowing green chest. The item sits there quietly, emitting a soft firefly halo, silently declaring its uniqueness. The white chest's contents were meager but useful, and green is a tier higher. He takes a deep breath. The greater the expectation, the greater the disappointment, he reminds himself. It might just be nicer food and water. Keep calm, keep calm. He taps the chest with deep reverence. A hum, significantly louder than before, echoes out. An emerald light bursts from the cracks, soft and gentle, filling his mind tunnel with a reassuring green glow. The light fades, revealing only a handful of items, but each looks far more refined than The white tier, 1 self-heating military ration, 1 energy drink, 1 pair of miner's gloves, and 1 simple forging furnace blueprint. Holy crap, a curse slips out of him when he sees that final item, a blueprint, not a mere fragment, and for a smelting furnace no less. His blood boils with excitement. This means leaving the Stone Age behind, crafting metal tools with his own hands. He checks the other items. The self-heating military ration is of excellent quality, pulling a built-in fuse to heat up, fully restoring hunger and slowly recovering stamina over an hour. A divine tool for outdoor work and potentially life-saving. The energy drink is excellent, instantly restoring 50% of his fatigue, with a description promising to let him dig another 100 times. What an amazing item. 1 sip and he is revived mid-mine. The white common miner's gloves grant +1 strength, along with perfect protection against pickaxe friction, calling it his first step to becoming a legendary miner. He pulls them on immediately. The soft leather fits perfectly with thick knuckle protection, and he feels his strength nudge up. His character panel confirms strength has risen from 8 to 9. Every item is top-notch, but none matches the pure shock of the blueprint. He picks up the parchment and reads, a simple forging furnace blueprint, green quality, with no learning requirement, unlocking construction in his crafting panel. Needed materials, stone material times 50, copper ingot times 10, and iron ingot times 10. The spark of civilization begins in this simple furnace. The description reads that it smelts ores and forges basic metal tools and weapons, coming with simple white tool and weapon recipes for stone, copper, and iron. He checks his backpack. Over 20 stone are already mined, meaning he can easily make up the rest. He has some iron and copper ore from earlier, but the blueprint requires ingots, meaning he will need to smelt. It is a vicious cycle. No furnace means no smelting, but he has a plan. Opening the crafting panel, he scrolls directly to the very bottom. A simple campfire, just 5 wood and 5 stone, lit with flint. It offers light, warmth, basic cooking, and critical ore smelting. There is a catch, though: a terrible success rate and massive resource loss. Still, the system left a primitive path open. He can make fire. But getting 1 ingot out of 12 attempts is considered lucky. A real forging furnace will completely skyrocket his success rate. Exhaling slowly, he stores his items. Once built, his development will completely explode. Everyone else will be left far behind. He opens the regional chat. Other players are still desperately begging for a sip of water or biscuits. Some even wonder if they can eat dirt. Meanwhile, he is advancing. Industrial Revolution tech is right ahead. The feeling is amazing. Gripping his pickaxe tighter, he stops hesitating. The rock has new meaning. It is not just cold stone now, it is copper and iron. These are the cornerstones of his future. Wood, wood, he mutters. The trade market has wood priced absurdly high. 1 food is too much. Since everyone just started out, there are no electronics listed yet. If he wants recyclable junk, he will have to wait for now. But the manual mentions a small chance of digging up roots. Those count as wood, a tiny chance but worth trying. Slipping his gloves on, his next heavy swing shatters a massive stone block instantly. That extra strength point really is concrete. This is exactly the flow he needs. If he digs wood, builds a campfire, and smelts, the furnace rises instantly. Metal weapons and tools will finally be within his grasp. He raises his pickaxe high, swinging repeatedly, already imagining heaps of materials. Copper and iron ores practically call his name as he digs for an hour. But then the one sound players dread, a sharp snap, echoes. His grip suddenly goes light, and exhaustion hits hard. He freezes completely. As if time has paused, he slowly looks down to see a bare handle. The other half with the metal pick head clatters down, dissolving into glowing light. And then a merciless system notification sounds to deliver the absolute worst news. His pickaxe is broken. Digging is finished for the day. A new pickaxe refreshes at 8 a.m. tomorrow. He he is stunned. Broken just like that, he barely even pulled 20 items today before this happened. Yet he still managed to hit that terrible 5% break chance. Damn you, developers, he grumbles through his teeth. This is a total scam. They dangle a shiny blueprint of hope, then steal his only tool. It is like winning $5 million only to get run over on your way out. Forget about it, he tells himself. The market lists might have changed by now. An hour has passed, so maybe some other unlucky player has listed electronic junk. He only used 2 recycle attempts on those gadgets today. 8 chances remain. This is his comeback fund. If he cannot dig, he trades. He checks his tradable inventory. Raw materials are off limits. Those are for building. Food is hard currency, and he has plenty. He realizes electronic junk will be his main source of recycled material. That iced cola. Way too luxurious to waste. Self-heating meals and energy drinks are strategic. Lifesavers to save. What remains are his starter items, half a rye bread, 3 bottles of clean water, 1 compressed biscuit, and half of another. He opens up the trading platform and types in the exact keywords. He actually wants broken, damaged, unusable junk. Instantly, a pile of strange listings pop up: a leaking iron bucket for food, a wooden stool with a broken leg listed for water, a scorched circuit board asking for stone. Material times 25. Unlucky souls are definitely digging up junk electronics out there. To him, this is not a market. It is a scrapyard built just for him. His eyes lock onto a listing by seller B2222, a broken gold watch. Listed for any single serving of food. That is the one. He sends a quick message. And the reply comes instantly, the guy eagerly calling him boss. He offers half a compressed biscuit. The seller happily agrees and instantly starts the trade. Seconds later, a gold watch with a shattered face and broken strap is in his inventory. Without even looking it over, he commands the system to recycle it. Spinner detects a high-value item, a damaged gold Rolex watch. With a hint of excitement, a Rolex. Even broken, its value cannot be matched. With a PH Professor DSLR, this is a luxury item, precious metal. Recycle it, he whispers. The system runs the assessment. Excellent value, high precious metal content. Low tech and poor integrity. It declares the recycling process a success. Spinner snaps its fingers, and a virtual tray glowing with an eerie green light appears, revealing the rewards: 5 iron ingots, copper ingots times 10, wood times 20, and a green treasure chest, plus a precious metal recycling bonus triggered. Iron, copper, and wood. These are exactly the basic materials he was struggling to find for his smelting. Furnace delivered in 1 neat package, plus a green chest, a massive profit. He resists the urge to open the chest right now, stashing the materials instead, watching the resource numbers rise for stone, wood, copper, and iron. A deep sense of security washes over him. These are the pillars of industry. 7 recycling chances remain, no stopping now. Strike while the iron is hot. Reopening the market, his eyes shine as he scans the junk listings like a scavenger hunting for gold in a garbage pile. He targets seller B26119's burnt board, listed for stone times 25. He noticed this before. 25 stone is crazy enough to break a pickaxe trying to mine it all. Obviously, the guy wanted to rip someone off, but he sends a direct message, offering half a rye bread. That seller, sighing in his dark mind, thinks he is hallucinating. Half a loaf for a tiny circuit board he dug up by accident. How is that any different from winning the lottery? He asks if this is real. Our guy tells him yes, so hurry. He is in a rush, and the trade completes instantly. A blackened burnt board slots into his inventory, and he recycles it without hesitation. Spinner detects a burned motherboard chip, processes it, and rewards him with copper ore times 5 in a single white treasure chest. A white chest. He is not surprised. Instead, he simply nods. Even tiny crumbs are meat, and small gains accumulate. Even the absolute cheapest electronic waste can consistently yield useful resources. That is all he needs to prove, but trading one by one in private chat is too slow. To make a real impact, he has to go big. Taking a deep breath, he opens the regional channel, drafts a quick post. High price recycle. He is mass recycling electronic waste, damaged mechanical parts, and discarded luxury goods and weird, incomprehensible technological artifacts. If anyone has useless junk, message him. Trading for food, water, and basic materials, bulk welcome, reputation guaranteed. The regional chat goes silent for. And get this, the chat completely freezes for 2 seconds before absolutely exploding with messages. People scream in chat, is this real? High price recycling. Is that food for junk? Someone has a rusty lump of iron with 2 gears, while user B23838 pops up claiming to have a broken Bluetooth headset saved just for him. Next, someone. Another trader offers ripped lace stockings. He swipes left on that weird deal. Dozens of direct messages flood in. The fish bit. He opens B2. 3838's message first. A broken Bluetooth headset for water. He offers half bottle, which they accept. He swiftly completes the trade, exchanging half a bottle of purified water for the single earpiece headset with its crooked charging port. He knows from experience that recycling value depends on complexity and rarity, based on the brand name icon. This yield should be pretty good. He commands it to recycle. Spinner detects the damaged high-end brand Bluetooth headset, bouncing out happily to circle the device twice, but this time it does not start immediately. Instead, a new system prompt rings in his head, congratulating him on completing 5 successful recycles and unlocking the hidden milestone Scrap Acquisition Station Master. Next, the system announces that his spinner recycling system has been upgraded with a brand new feature, selective recycling. He focuses on it, checking the selective recycling details. Now, when recycling a specific item, the system offers 2 distinct reward options based on potential value, letting him choose one. Life is a gamble. Gamble, the system warns, and honestly, who doesn't love high stakes? The power of choice is finally his. Previously, every single recycle was entirely a blind box. Now he gets to preview the prize pool, even if it is only a choice between 2, his options and room for error improve dramatically. Right then, Spinner finishes assessing the headset, and 2 trays of different colored light float before him side by side, since this is his first activation. The rewards are doubled. Option A offers 3 loaves of rye bread and 3 bottles of purified water. Option B offers 3 white chests. Option A represents stability, a solid haul of food and water that secures his survival for the next few days, giving him capital to buy more trash. It is the safest, rational choice, but option B is the exciting unknown. He chooses option B. 3 plain white chests drop onto the floor in front of him. He pulls other white and green chests from his backpack, lining them up together while rubbing his hands with a sneaky grin. Before opening any chest, one must respect the metaphysics of luck. He played games in his old world and knows the path. Opening the best chest first is a recipe for mental collapse. If luck fails, the proper trick is to prime his fortune, burn off all the bad luck on minor chests first, saving the grand prize for the very end. He eyes the green chest, praying the system god and 3 pure ones bless him. Amen, he mutters under his breath, resolutely opening the first white chest. The one salvaged from the circuit board. A simple white light flashes as it pops. It springs open, revealing 500 milliliters of water, 2 stones, and 1 moldy rag. His mouth twitches at the smelly rag. Stingy, very good, he tells himself. That is bad luck -1, he thinks, storing the items and grabbing chest 2. One of the 3 from the Bluetooth headset. It opens with another flash, rye bread. 1 piece, 2 wood, and a single holy sock. He stares silently at the suspicious item. Does the system have a personal vendetta, specifically handing him outused underwear? It is fine. It is all priming and preparation. Bad. Luck -2, he notes. He taps the third chest with a slightly trembling hand, refusing to believe he is cursed. Buzz, 5 stones and 1 inferior whetstone appear. He pauses then. Smiles faintly. The whetstone is white quality, offering slight durability repairs on. Gear, it is better than nothing, and certainly beats using his own teeth. It is inferior, but it is the first repair tool he has ever found. His pickaxe is broken, but his rusty dagger works, and this whetstone will keep it safe from getting scrapped through overuse. Not bad. His luck is turning and his confidence is soaring. He stares at the fourth and final white chest, demanding a blueprint. Even a fragment will do. He taps it. The white light this time seems slightly brighter. Inside, next to a compressed biscuit, lies a yellowed, incomplete sheet of parchment resting at the bottom, a blueprint fragment. He snatches it up. Basic water purifier fragment, 1/3 green quality. 3 fragments are required to synthesize the full blueprint. Clean water sources are the foundation for survival. It is just a fragment, but green quality water purifiers carry immense strategic significance, matching even the smelting furnace. Any murky source he finds later can be converted to safe drinking water, and blueprints for wells will surely follow. These 4 white chests escalated from trash to useful tools, then to a blueprint fragment, priming. Luck really is the absolute best. Feeling his state peak, he takes a deep breath, turning his attention to the final, most dazzling item, the green chest from the Rolex. Success or failure depends on this move. He gently taps the green lid. Vibrant emerald light, denser and more vital than any white light, bursts forth and floods his mind like warm jade. Runes of hope flow within the radiance. As the light fades, several distinct items settle. Inside, 3 ripe red fruits, 1 small life recovery potion, and a comfortable single bed blueprint. This is another fully complete blueprint. He picks it up to read. A comfortable single bed, green, excellent quality. Requiring no learning process, it unlocks construction in the crafting panel. Materials needed are 30 wood, 5 softened beast hides, and 10 cotton. The description bids farewell to the cold, hard ground. A good bed lets him forget fatigue. When waking the next morning, the world will have become beautiful. He checks the object's attributes. Comfortable single bed, tied. Building furniture, green quality. Resting on the bed for 8 hours fully restores fatigue and grants the energetic effect, lasting 24 hours. This buff grants +1 to all attributes, a truly divine skill. He knows exactly how precious a single attribute point is. His miner's gloves only gave him +1 strength, but sleeping in this bed once grants +1 across the board, several points more than he currently has, a massive boost to strength, agility, and constitution alike, a massive daily buff. Nothing feels more exciting or secure right now than simply growing stronger. He begins calculating his resources. He has some wood but needs more. Softened beast hide and cotton must come from monsters or chests. Looking at the blueprint, he can almost see himself asleep on that soft mattress, but there is 0 hide or cotton. Looks like he has to fall back on his old trade. He chuckles quietly, his gaze returning to the spinner recycle system. 5 recycle chances left today. 5 chances to gather materials for a real bed. He does not hesitate, clicking into the regional channel, which is still flashing. Wildly, his high-priced recycle post has become the hottest topic online, and private messages are absolutely overflowing. He activates filter mode. To save time, he is no longer some desperate newbie. After several recycles, he has worked out a pattern. Value is linked to the items. Original price, tech level, and rarity. Rolex tier luxury items yield green chests, while cameras and Bluetooth tech yield supplies. His goal is clear: target items that look impressive. Even if nobody understands them, he scrolls the private messages and locks onto 5. One says they dug up a smashed drone with 3 broken propellers. Another message, addressed to Brother 9527, offers a cracked tablet. That still faintly lights up in exchange for food. A third seller has a graphics card called an RTX 9090T, which is completely bent from a rock strike. A fourth message to Brother 9527 offers a leather handbag. They do not know the brand, but it has a shiny letter G zipper. They just want water. The final offer is an empty, broken silver pendant. Traded for a biscuit, these are the perfect targets. A sharp glint crosses his eyes and he messages them back with decisive speed. He is rich now, offering half a bread or half a bottle of water for their trash. All 5 trades are completed in minutes, and his backpack now holds 5 brand new pieces of junk. This absurd generosity stirs the channel up again. Most players marvel at his wealth, praising the boss and saying they will eat well if they follow him, but a dissenting voice soon pops up amid the praise. A player named B25408 warns everyone to calm down and not be fooled. He argues that in this brutal environment where heavy physical labor is required and chests do not guarantee survival, food and water are worth more than gold. Why would anyone use such precious resources to trade for worthless junk? There has to be a conspiracy behind this. These electronic scraps and luxury wastes must have secret uses, meaning he is exploiting an information gap to cheaply hoard all the treasures. He calls on everyone to stop trading with him, to hold their items and wait for the truth to be revealed. Rather than foolishly giving away their chances, the regional chat falls silent for a brief moment. Those words are undeniably quite inflammatory. In a survival situation, even the slightest suspicion gets magnified instantly, and a few players who were preparing to message him suddenly freeze up, wondering what if these broken junk items are actually treasures. Trading them for simple bread would be an absolute massive loss. Right then, the chat channel atmosphere shifts completely. He reads the doubts with a deep frown. He does not mind players hesitating, but self-righteous smart elects really annoy him. Keep the junk then. Can you eat metal? Just as he starts typing a reply, a familiar user leaps to his defense. It is B23838, his biggest fan, who traded him the camera and headset. He immediately tags B25408, asking if he has lost his mind. He proudly announces that he made the trade, with the boss swapping a broken camera for food and a useless earpiece for water. He only has the strength to roast B25408 because the boss saved him. Hidden uses, what a joke. Go ahead and hug your scrap metal, he snaps. Let us see if you starve to death before you ever find some magic secret. Stop talking big and getting in the way of our survival. His words fire off like rapid machine gun rounds, immediately waking up the crowd. Right on, another player agrees. He says he just traded with the boss, and food actually fills his stomach. Who cares what a broken drone is for? Can anyone eat it? Another user mentions working all day, dying of thirst until getting fresh water. A simple bottle of water saved his life, and some broken chain is no legendary treasure. Others point out that B25408 found nothing, and is just jealous that other players can get food, classic sour grapes, in seconds. Public opinion completely flips. The players who finished trading and are already eating bread and water become his absolute fiercest defenders for anyone trying to survive. Some vague possibility of hidden treasure cannot beat a real mouthful of fresh food. B25408 gets roasted into absolute silence, not daring to type again. The minor drama is quickly crushed by the hungry crowd. He looks at the chat log with a quiet smile. He did not even have to lift a finger to gain these loyal trading partners. He closes the noisy channel and turns back to his backpack. 5 brand new items wait quietly for the king of trash to choose. Time to get to work. He inventories the 5 newly acquired junk pieces and decides to start with the cheapest one, a damaged silver locket with almost zero tech value and very little precious metal weight. This is the perfect test run. Recycle, he commands. Spinner immediately detects the silver locket and presents him with Two clear choices. Option A gives 2 silver ores and 2 ropes. Option B gives 3 white treasure chests. He is always down to gamble, so he decides. On option B, sure, raw silver and rope could be useful, but absolutely nothing compares to the massive thrill of unopened loot boxes. 3 white chests claimed. Next up is the second item, a worn designer handbag stamped with a letter G. Time to recycle. Spinner scans the branded bag and lays out the choices. Option A offers 3 pieces of softened beast hide and 1 exquisite thread. Option B is just 2 white treasure chests, softened beast hide, 3 of them. That is the exact material he needs to build his cozy single bed. Common sense and his inner gambler wrestle for a tense moment. He decides to play. It's safe this time. The cozy bed is just too tempting. He is no reckless addict. He is a smart survivor who weighs the pros and cons, hide secured. Into his backpack, he is now one giant step closer to sleeping on a real bed. Third up is the damaged tablet computer with a shattered screen. He hits recycle. Option A is a basic food pack containing 5 loaves of bread and 5 bottles of purified water. Option B is 2 white treasure chests, since he just blew through some food on trades. He takes the food pack instead. Fourth is the broken drone, massive, strangely shaped with an LCD screen and a camera. The design clearly is not blue stars. Current tech level, so its value should be higher than the tablet. Time to recycle. Spinner detects a damaged high-tech civilian drone. Option A is a micromotor and a white chest. The moment he sees the word grain, there is nothing to think about. Option A's advanced sounding bits have no immediate use. Option B. It is a green chest plops down right in front of him. Only one item remains, the one that on paper has the highest tech content of the whole haul, the bent, damaged RTX 9090 graphics card. He takes a deep breath and issues the final command with something close to reverence. Recycle. Spinner detects a high-value core technology item, a damaged flagship graphics card. The assessment runs value excellent, precious metal content medium, and technological content extremely high but integrity poor. It declares the recycle successful. The system voice sounds several degrees more solemn this time. Spinner somersaults, inflects its hand, and 2 dazzling trays float out in front of him. The left tray holds 3 green chests lined up, radiating vitality. The right tray holds only one, but that one is deep, pure blue. Its surface ripples like flowing water, faint silver runes flickering along the edges, and its light is strong enough to suppress the glow of the 3 green chests beside it. A blue chest, his pupils contract. Think about it. If a green chest gave him an attribute buffing bed, what on earth lies inside a blue one? He chooses option B. Selection confirmed. The tray resolves, and a chest radiating dreamy blue light descends in front of him and hangs there in midair. The surrounding air bends into a tiny vortex around it. He looks at the spread, 3 whites, 1 green, and the blue chest at the center and grins silently. This lineup is magnificent. He exhales and forces down the excitement. Opening chests is an art, and more than that, a matter of metaphysics. The more critical the moment, the calmer he has to be. He focuses on the first white chest and waves his hand, muttering to open it. A plain white flash, 2 stone materials, and 1 purified water. Not bad, he tells himself with a nod. Food and water are hard currency, and you can never have too much. Second white yields 1 rye bread and 1 stone material. His brow furrows faintly. It is a little too flat, but no matter. These are groundwork, all of it priming for that final blue flash. Third white, deep breath, point and tap. He demands something different. The light fades and the contents resolve. 1 tattered wooden chair and 1 yellowed cotton quilt. He stares at a chair missing a leg and a mold-smelling quilt with worn edges. Dumbfounded, that is it. 3 white chests, progressively worse, and he walked away with bread, water, stone, and 2 pieces of broken furniture. He issues the command reluctantly to recycle the tattered quilt. Spinner floats out lazily circles the quilt once in an almost perfunctory orbit, then delivers. Two warnings: today's recycle attempts have been used up, and this system only. It only recycles high-value tech and special items, so please. Do not insult its professionalism with low-end trash. His face darkens an insult. This cotton is crucial bedding, and it is trash. Now he is practically boiling with rage, but the system rules are absolute. Is he seriously supposed to sleep clutching a tattered old quilt? Wait, just because Spinner cannot recycle it does not mean he cannot. Before Spinner awakened, he had unlocked his own basic C-rank recycling talent, the humble skill that turns simple items into basic materials. He had forgotten all about it since it is so incredibly slow. He asks Spinner nervously if his old skill still works. The red phantom yawns and replies in a mechanical, disdainful voice. His personal talent does not conflict with the one given by the system and remains active. It works. He focuses on the quilt. Activate, recycle. A faint light appears from his palm. This barely visible white light shines from his palm, wrapping around the fabric. It disintegrates, threads pull apart, the cotton fluff puffs back up. Success. He obtains 10 units of cotton and 3 rags. 10 clean units of cotton sit in his inventory. This is C rank. No way, this is basically high-level alchemy, turning garbage into actual gold. He turns his eager gaze to the broken chair. Recycle again. White light. Success. He gets 10 wood and 5 rusty nails, 2 for 2. 0 failures, though it was luck-based. He calculates quickly. A comfortable single bed needs 30 wood, 5 softened beast hides, and 10 cotton. He had 20 wood and 10 more makes 30. 10 cotton is ready. He has 3 beast hides and only needs 2 more. This is fantastic. His frustration vanishes. 2 more hides and he can escape the cold, hard ground. Sleeping on an attribute-boosting bed instead, he will search the market later. He will trade for the hides later. Talk about a massive lifesaver. His spirits are fully restored as his eager gaze locks right onto the green chest. Sitting quietly on the ground, the warm-up is over. Now for the main course. He reaches for the vibrant green chest obtained from recycling the drone. With its high-tech origins, the loot inside should be incredible. He opens it. An emerald blaze, far brighter than the white light, bursts out with life. It floods his entire vision with brilliant jade. He holds his breath in anticipation. As the glow fades, several items appear, but there are no blueprints in sight. No materials either. Instead, he sees a sleek wooden longbow and a quiver of arrows. A ranged weapon. Even better, the ends of the bow are tipped with sharp blades. They radiate a chilling glint. Total jackpot. His only current weapon is a rusty dagger. That only has 13 attack, which against monsters is basically a toothpick, but now he has a bow whose blades can double for close combat. He pulls it out. The longbow feels slightly heavy, its polished body crafted from tough, solid wood. Wrapped with the sinew of some unknown beast, it feels like a serious weapon. The sharp blades at both ends emit a chilling, soul-catching light. He checks the item stats. Fine-bladed longbow. It is a green-grade weapon. Attack power is 15 to 25, range is 50 meters, accuracy +1. It is a well-crafted hunting bow that is highly reliable. It is the perfect companion for keeping distance alongside his close-quarters blade. Treat it well and it becomes a reliable friend. Its 15 to 25 attack easily crushes his old dagger. Just one arrow could easily punch straight through a wild dog. Straight shafts with gleaming metal heads and neat fletching. It is a professional kit. 50 arrows should last him quite a while. In his excitement, he mimics a sharpshooter, knocking an arrow in place. He strikes what he thinks is a cool pose, aiming at the far wall to feel its divine power. Taking a deep breath, he begins drawing the string back, but his face instantly flushes. The string and limbs feel like steel rebar, and he can barely pull it halfway. His arms shake violently, and sweat pops onto his forehead. His supposedly cool pose turns completely comical. Effortless archers are a lie. Panting, he lets the string slip. His strength, even with the glove's bonus, still caps out at 9. While decent for an ordinary person, it is simply not enough to wield a fine longbow like this. He tries holding the bow as a polearm, using the limbs as cutting blades. The system confirms his attack value does not drop. That is great. To use this properly, he must improve his physique, hardening his resolve to build that bed. If his strength hits 10, he might finally draw this weapon. Unfortunately, he still needs 2 more softened beast hides. He stows his gear. Now he turns toward the mysterious blue chest, floating silently in midair. The white and green chests are open, so all his luck is concentrated here. He eagerly waits to see what kind of incredible miracle a blue chest can bring him. You can practically feel the tension as he stares at that dreamily glowing chest. It is easily the highest grade chest he has ever laid eyes on in this place. He must calm down first and maintain a proper sense of ritual. He cleanses his hands using precious, purified water. Mimicking ancient fasting rituals, he then retrieves his survival manual. He bows 3 times to the goddess of luck inside. Only after going through all this elaborate preparation does he feel his state is peaked. A devout, slightly unhinged grin slowly crosses his face in anticipation. He slams his palm down onto the glowing blue chest with all his might. With a loud boom, a tide of brilliant blue light instantly surges out of the chest. The entire tunnel is dyed deep azure, the air filled with mysterious energy. The rough rock patterns on the walls begin transforming into flowing runes under the intense glow. Nearly blinded, he feels an ineffable, supreme aura rising up. When the light finally fades away, he eagerly leans in to look inside. To his shock, the chest is completely empty. There are no supplies, no weapons, and no blueprints, only a single blue crystal card. Complex silver patterns line its edges around a blurry human figure. The card hovers quietly right in the middle of the empty space. A card, he stands there absolutely stunned, all that ritual just for a card. He takes it out, it feels cool to the touch, yet somehow strangely warm. A special talent summon card of unknown quality. Its description reads that knowledge is power, and talent is the vessel of knowledge. It urges him to draw a card and see which hero destiny binds him to. He flips the Mind World Basic Survival Manual open again, scanning the pages. Flipping to the very last page, he finds a hastily scribbled appendix. It details the legendary European emperor, and right there, he spots the rare summon card. This is easily one of the absolute rarest and most coveted treasures in the entire Mind World. It lets the holder summon extremely powerful, legendary figures to assist them. The book lists incredible examples, starting with the legendary god of war Guan Yu. He flattened countless demonic beasts with one blade. Then there is the master strategist Zhuge Liang, winning battles from his tent. Or Tony Stark, the genius who hand-built an Iron Man suit. He hand-built his suit inside a dark cave. These summoned characters can be upgraded even further. This isn't just a basic cheat. Seriously, he is essentially hiring a personal power leveler. Images of fierce generals, flattening wild beasts flash through his head. He sees endless looted treasure chests waiting. A scientist would build advanced energy weapons easily. He could build massive robots and found a giant tech empire down here. His heart is on fire as he grips this golden ticket to the top. Why on earth can't he ever escape drawing cards, no matter where he goes, he mutters. But his excited face completely betrays him as he bows 3 times. He begs every single deity and system god in the sky to bless his luck. Please give him someone who can fight, like Zhao Yun or Lu Bu. Even a genius like Einstein or Newton would do. He mumbles his prayers. He finally makes up his mind, because absolute success is now in heaven's hands. Everything depends on this single action, and his heart races as he raises it high. He activates it, sending a massive pillar of blue light blasting skyward. The light pierces straight through the top of the tunnel while data streams spin. Runes and ancient data streams flash wildly as a blurry figure begins to take shape. His palms sweat. Is this his epic general or a legendary scientist? The blinding light gradually fades away, and a mysterious figure finally steps into view. It is a slightly plump, middle-aged man wearing a spotless chef uniform. He wears a tall chef hat, but there are no epic weapons here. No legendary crescent blade or futuristic laser guns. He only holds a polished ladle. He looks at the boy's stunned face. With a warm, highly professional smile, the cook bows slightly. The man bows and introduces himself as Daeha, a cook, asking for the kitchen. He politely asks what the young man wants to eat tonight. The veteran chef even warmly recommends his signature, braised pork that literally melts. His jaw drops. I mean, can you blame him? He got a cook. He recycled a blue chest and used an extremely rare card. And out of all things, he summoned a chef. His grand ambitions are completely crushed. What a joke. What on earth is a simple chef supposed to do in a dangerous, resource-scarce mine? Is he going to bash goblin skulls with his kitchen ladle? Daeha notices his frozen expression with absolute confusion. He cautiously asks the young man if he is doing all right. He asks about kitchen tools or raw ingredients, recommending a soothing, brain-nourishing clear soup first, since the young man's complexion looks pretty terrible. Soothing soup? No, what he really needs is a fast-acting heart saver. Pill, his blood pressure is spiking, and he feels like spitting out blood. But wait, this is a super rare summoning card, no matter how much the system wants to mess with him, it wouldn't waste such a high-tier item on a useless summon. This chef has to have some hidden attributes. Suddenly, a spark of hope reignites, and he silently commands the system to check attributes. A pale blue screen, visible only to him, unfolds beside Daeha. Name Daeha, race human, occupation god. Of cookery, level 1, upgradable through special dishes. Loyalty is 80, indicating natural follower. Attributes, health 440, strength 20, agility 18. Constitution 22, spirit 15, attack 40, 50, defense 25. Talk about a total cheat code. Look at those stats. His strength with gloves is just 9. This cook has a base strength of 20, more than double his, meaning he can easily pull back the heavy longbow. He cannot even budge. 22 constitution makes him a meat shield. These are not stats for a cook. This is a berserker wearing a chef's uniform. He forces the excitement down and shifts to the skills list. Skill 1. God tier culinary arts, passive, max level. He is the physical embodiment of the culinary path. Any ingredient in his hands transforms into something miraculous and delicious. His dishes grant buffs with an extremely rare chance of producing legendary dishes with miraculous effects. Skill 2, 1 meal per day, active, requiring no ingredients. He can summon 1 serving of a highly nutritious, balanced, and delicious god of cookery set meal daily, enough for 1 person. It rapidly restores stamina and clears most minor negative statuses, like fatigue. Skill 3, food soul berserk, active, using special recipes and ingredients. He can create a battle dish imbued with the soul of berserk, greatly boosting the consumer's stats for a short time, at the cost of falling into uncontrollable frenzy. Currently, he can craft stir-fried pork kidney, strength +5, pain reduction 50%, lasting 5 minutes, side effect minor kidney deficiency. Skill 4. Kitchenware as equipment, passive. In his hands, any kitchen tool is treated as fine-grade equipment. The ladle is equivalent to a fine mace, attack 20. 30 with a stun effect. The chef uniform set is equivalent to a fine leather armor set, defense 25, upgrades with level. Skill 5, dark cuisine active. He can combine malice with his art to create dark cuisine with terrifying effects. Currently, he can craft deadly mixed salad with poison, tearful onion rings as potent tear gas, and brick bread as a throwing weapon. He reads through word by word, and by the end, he is rooted to the spot, jaw dropped, unable To utter a sound, his brain is overwhelmed with a stream of pure shock. Is this guy seriously just a cook? He is a strategic-level weapon. Combining healing, buffs, debuffs, crowd control, and area of effect damage. God-tier culinary arts and daily free meals easily solve their team's logistics. And survival problems, Food Soul Berserk is a solid trump card for desperate moments. Using kitchenware as equipment is even more outrageous. A man who flips. Wax is basically a warrior whose ladle rivals a longbow in sheer power and dark. His cooking makes him a literal bioweapon master. Forget Dwayne Wade. What's Iron Man? Complete weaklings next to Master Daeha. This is the true divine. General, the ultimate answer to surviving this mine tunnel. He looks at Daeha, who still waits kindly for an order, and his entire gaze completely shifts. The look. One gives a priceless treasure, all anger and disappointment completely gone. He calls out to Master Daeha, his voice trembling as he rushes to grab his hand. Holding the ladle, promising to build a kitchen immediately, and asking what materials are needed. What is on tonight's menu? Braised pork, a massive serving. To him, Daeha's warm smile shines like a pure angel's radiance. Don't worry, he promises. Patting his chest, he vows a kitchen will be built right away, even though he lacks a proper house and is totally boasting first. Daeha clearly appreciates this wild enthusiasm, chuckling softly. That it doesn't need to be fancy, a simple stove is enough because where there is fire, miracles happen. A stove is no problem, and he springs into action immediately, opening his backpack and piling all the accumulated stones onto the ground into a small pile of dozens of pieces. Daeha inspects it like a foreman with his hands behind his back, gesturing at the ground with his trusty ladle, directing him to build it slightly higher here, leave a vent, and keep the top flat for pots. He gets to work, hauling rocks, stacking the walls, and leaving an opening for the fire. Although he lacks any real construction experience, he has plenty of strength, and the stones are fairly even. After 10 minutes of clanging, a crooked but sturdy stone stove stands in the tunnel corner. Daeha pats it, nodding in satisfaction, telling him he did a great job and to leave the rest to him. Then the magic begins. Daeha reaches into the apron pocket of his chef's uniform, rummaging around. The pocket looks totally normal, but what he pulls out nearly makes his eyes pop. A prime piece of pork belly, about 2 caddies with a good balance of fat and lean, beautifully marbled, suddenly materializes out of thin air. Where in the world did that come from? Is his apron Doraemon's magic pocket? And he's not even done. He slams the pork belly onto the stove and reaches inside once more. A heavy iron pot, salt, a bottle of soy sauce, a bag of rock sugar, star anise, bay leaves, and a little bundle of dried chilies. With all these seasonings pulled out and lined up neatly by the stove, our miner is completely dumbfounded, finally understanding the true value of this daily meal. This isn't cooking, it's creating something from nothing. Daeha completely ignores the starstruck look on his face, pulling out his gleaming ladle. With a fast, rhythmic clanging, he slices the pork belly perfectly, takes the offered flint and lights the firewood, the rising flames illuminating his confident face. The meat goes in, the sizzle and rich aroma instantly filling the entire tunnel. Soy sauce, rock sugar, and spices follow in sequence, making the scent even more intense, even more intoxicating. His stomach growls loud and clear. After just a lunch burger and an hour of mining, he is starving. His mouth is watering as the heavenly scent of braised pork practically drags the soul right out of him. While Daeha focuses on the stew, he forces himself to look away, still having an important job to finish. He opens the looking at the trading platform. He needs just 2 more softened beast hides for a comfortable bed. The listings are packed, but prices are steep, mostly offering water or some bread. He thinks for a moment, then posts on the regional chat, offering food for hides. 1 portion of food per hide, first come, first served. A message instantly arrives. Player B24567 is ready to trade a fresh rabbit hide. He immediately agrees to the deal, sending over a piece of rye bread in exchange. With the trade complete, he loses one rye bread but gains a softened beast hide. Another message from B26899 offers a fox hide, which he gladly accepts. With both hides secured, he asks if the monsters they fought were actually dangerous. The first player replies that it was just a big rabbit that went down easily. The second player adds that their fox was fast but fragile, trapped in a corner. Hearing this, he realizes that the first day monsters are actually pretty weak and simple. They are basic beasts, giving players a valuable grace period to adapt. Glancing at the regional channel counter in the top right, he notices something interesting. 9,999. Not a single soul has died yet, but you can bet he refuses to drop his guard. He closes the chat and opens the blueprint for the comfortable single bed. He watches with a grin as every single material count turns a satisfying green. Everything is ready, so he taps craft, triggering a beautiful and warm golden glow. The gathered materials vanish into the light as a real bed begins to shape. A sturdy wooden frame with a thick white cotton mattress slowly materializes in the room. It is finished with a smooth beast hide sheet, ready for a perfect rest. Checking the bed's stats, he sees its quality is officially classified as green. Sleeping in it boosts all attributes and massively speeds up his stamina recovery. The system description promises a sleep that makes you forget all your worries. Just looking at the cozy setup makes all his exhaustion melt away completely. He is deeply tempted to lie down immediately and sleep for 12 hours straight. But then his eyes catch Master Daeha busy cooking over at the stove. If he takes this comfortable bed, where will the god of cookery sleep? He certainly cannot make a legendary helper sleep on the cold, hard ground. Master Daeha notices his gaze, smiling kindly and saying he requires no sleep. However, if the young man does not mind, he can rest when needed. Pointing his ladle at the cave wall, he adds a somewhat mysterious warning. He must stand guard tonight, leaving the young man completely confused by the instruction. Why would they ever need a guard inside a sealed, safe mining cave? The chef simply smiles, replying that he will find out the truth very soon. Though a bit uneasy, he is soon completely distracted by the bubbling stove. The mouth-watering braised pork is simmering in a thick, honey-like red sauce. Each translucent piece of pork belly looks incredibly tender and ready to melt. Its heavenly aroma fills the cave as Master Daeha scoops up a piece. He holds it out on his ladle, inviting the hungry young man to try. Ignoring the intense heat, he takes a big bite as the savory fat melts. A perfect explosion of sweet and salty flavors coats his entire mouth. It is absolutely delicious, bringing tears of pure joy to his eyes. He has never tasted anything this good, quickly reaching for his bread. He pulls bread from his backpack, tearing it open to dip into the thick pot of sauce. The hard, coarse bread quickly soaks up the rich meat juice from the boiling pot. It turns instantly soft, delicious, and bursting with flavor. He completely digs in. He devours an entire loaf like a whirlwind, feeling the day's heavy fatigue melt away. All his muscle soreness vanishes. Nearby, Daeha takes a piece of bread and eats slowly. He clearly enjoys the food his own skill created for them, in this quiet moment. The cold, dark tunnel fades. Now it's filled with a comforting warmth and delicious aroma, making it feel like a real home. But just as he enjoys this rare comfort, a sudden system notification blares in every player's head, a global announcement. Survivors, the daytime adaptation period has ended. Night is about to fall. Deep underground, players cannot easily track the hours, but the system has thoughtfully adjusted their cave environment for them. Now that night has arrived, the luminous ceiling crystals will dim down. Their brightness drops to 20%. The system wishes everyone a pleasant time, playing with their supposedly friendly neighbors during this quiet, tranquil night. That eerie phrasing sends a cold chill down his spine as he looks up. The glowing ceiling crystals dim rapidly, Suddenly, the entire tunnel grows murky and dark, visibility plummeting as the corners fade to pitch black with an eerie weight. A heavy sense of dread fills the air. Immediately, the regional chat explodes. Panic rises as players ask why it got dark and what neighbors mean. Others curse the system, terrified by whatever is lurking in the shadows. Mining all day was exhausting enough, and now the system wants nighttime trouble. A few try to calm the crowd down, but then a smart analyst chimed in. He points out that the friendly neighbors are obviously a terrible threat. This is a clear warning that active predators will hunt them tonight. It could be monsters or something far worse. His theory acts like ice water. Thrown over their heads, terror spreads through the regional chat like a plague. They fear monsters will dig through the walls. He reads desperate messages from players, pleading for weapons, offering to trade all their food just to survive the night. Some players have broken tools and empty inventories, completely defenseless against the dark. Endless cries for help flood the screen. Reading this, his heart sinks. Now he truly understands why Daeha insisted on keeping watch tonight. Out here, there is no real safe zone. Night is when the true survival trial begins. But in all this chaos, he spots a massive opportunity. Think about it. What does everyone desperately need? Security and a solid weapon. He looks down at his rusty dagger, which only has 1 to 3 attack, since he cannot draw. The heavy longbow, this is trash to him, but a lifeline to the unarmed. He opens the trading screen and lists the rusty blade, but bypasses basic resources. Instead, he requests comfortable furniture like a bed, reclining chair, or sofa. Daeha needs a place to rest, and he cannot let his companion stand all night. It is a bizarre, seemingly outrageous demand, but someone immediately accepts the deal. Just like that, he receives one comfortable, slightly worn reclining chair. Giving up a weak weapon for solid furniture is actually a major win. Good rest means he can keep mining tomorrow. He pulls the chair out, placing it right next to the warm stove, inviting Daeha to take a seat. He tells him to rest here tonight. Daeha looks at the chair, warmth flickering in his eyes, and nods, thanking the boss. Daeha's loyalty rises by 5 points. An unexpected gain. After everything, the boss finally feels a bit more at ease. He sits on the large bed, while Daeha leans back in the reclining chair. Neither of them speaking, quietly waiting for the unknown. The dark tunnel grows darker, with only the flickering hearth flames providing a little light. Time crawls. The boss feels his eyelids growing heavy, nearly drifting off to sleep, when a faint scraping sound, like fingernails on rock, echoes behind them. The eerie rustling coming from the left wall grates on his nerves. It is not loud, but clear enough in the dead silence to make his skin crawl. The monster is here. That friendly neighbor the system mentioned is finally visiting. He springs from the bed, his instincts kicking into overdrive, grabbing his miner gloves and gripping a fine longbow with an attack of 25. He cannot draw it yet, but holding the weapon brings a small sense of safety. "Do not panic, boss," Daeha says beside him in a remarkably steady voice. The chef stands up from his chair, completely calm as if nothing is wrong. He holds a gleaming ladle in one hand, ready for action. He even smooths down his tall chef hat with the other, completely relaxed. A loud crack, the scraping noises intensify, echoing off the stone walls. The boss stares at the wall, watching tiny cracks spread rapidly across the surface. Dust falls, stones trickle down, something massive is forcing its way through. "Master Daeha," the boss calls out, his throat completely dry. "Small potatoes," Daeha replies calmly, stepping forward to shield him. He stands ready. Boom, the stone wall explodes. Debris flies as smoke fills the air, revealing a massive creature. It crawls sideways through the hole, covered in a dark red carapace. It reflects a cold metallic sheen under the firelight. 8 thick, jointed legs support a body over a meter wide. Most terrifying are its 2 giant, pincer-like claws raised high like hydraulic shears. It is a giant crab. A monster bigger than a dining table. the system screen instantly pops up. It is a green elite rock crab with 300 health and high attack. This mutated beast has a shell hard as stone and massive deadly claws. Claws that can snap steel, the beast hisses like escaping steam, its tiny eyes locking onto them as it scuttles forward to attack. It charges aggressively, while not incredibly fast. The sheer pressure of it would turn an ordinary man's legs to jelly. The boss retreats instinctively, nearly tripping over his own feet. Is this what the system calls friendly? This is a straight-up demolition crew, and things are about to get ugly. Massive pincers clamp down, but a white figure flashes past as Daeha moves. No hesitation, he steps right toward the giant crab, body low, swinging his ladle in a swift, whistling arc straight down on its front leg. A loud clang rings out, dealing 60 damage directly to the monster. Sparks fly as the leg, which is thicker than an arm, takes a heavy blow. The giant crab lets out a painful hiss, and its aggressive charge completely stops. It works, the boss is relieved. Daeha's ladle is indeed a god-tier weapon. The crab abandons him, spinning toward the foolish beast that dared to provoke it, and snaps its massive pincers straight at Daeha's head. If that attack lands, his head becomes crushed watermelon,